get some of that additional content, man. It's some good shit. Okay, right, here we go. Off they go again. And yeah, those raptor leaps getting to that boss as quickly as possible. And you know what? Meta starting on the left, Salt starting on the right. They are truly diametrically opposed. It's left versus right, EU versus NA. This is going to be the first game of the grand final. Take two.
Take two, indeed. And, you know, again, probably not going to see anything really different here. If anything, unfortunately for Salt, I would expect Meta to maybe come out a little bit more ahead than the last time. And, you know, again, we've seen this exact setup before. We've seen Meta versus Salt on Wing 6 before. And, you know, again, unfortunately, you know, unless something crazy happens, we're probably going to see a repeat of what happened last time. Do you expect Salt to play Largos or Kadeem any differently than they did last time?
Oh, Salt let a shield in as well. That is a disaster, actually. They're going to lose a lot of damage there. They're going to lose some time right off the bat.
Yeah, definitely not good. I mean, the DPS bar between these two teams is much bigger now, the difference-wise.
Yeah.
So, doing all right, but yeah, that really hurt them. And honestly, guys, I mean, there you go. Look, the restart did not help them. In fact, it's probably going to make it even worse for them. So, really unlucky for them.
Yeah, they do get the phase, but they are fairly far behind now. Well, I guess about 5 seconds behind. But yeah, to go back to your old point, I mean, I think that Salt really don't have much kind of wiggle room on what classes they're going to play. I think we are going to see the same thing with the Soul Beasts. With the Soul Beast instead of the extra Mirage, and that will hurt them, right? That will cause them a few problems on the Largos twins, right? They will be reducing their DPS, unfortunately, beyond what an additional Mirage would do, and it doesn't really exchange anything in particular. They won't really get any additional safety either on top of that, right? It's not going to assist them that much, but it looks like Soul are able to get the shields there, but Meta, they've already got the phase, I think. Ooh, not quite. They're going to be phasing very shortly. Yep, there we go. They just got the phase there. But Salt did as well, actually. Salt caught up there. So I think what happened there is that a shield spawned on the DPS group of Meta. So they actually lost a bit of time there. So Jackson wasn't able to get all the swords. But on top of that, the slow and chill kind of screwed over some of the DPS classes there. So that shield not being broken kind of mean a bit. And actually, Salt got a massive burn there, actually. Salt got a huge burn. And they're going to kill the arm as well.
Finish the 8 first?
Wait,
no.
No way. There's no way they should be able to do this, I don't think.
It's rigged. It's rigged. No, okay, yeah. No, Meta are going to finish just a little bit ahead of Salt. But again, it's not that big of a difference.
3 seconds.
Only a couple seconds.
Only a couple of seconds, actually, on CA. But, I mean, to be honest with you, it will only get a little bit worse from here, to be frank with you. Largos will be an advantage in favor of Meta. And Kadeem as well. We've seen good portal strats coming out from Meta as well, and more advanced ones than we've seen Salt do. And again, these are these little time saves. They're going to help them. It is required that there is going to be a little bit of a fiesta on Meta's side for Salt to be able to catch up those 3 seconds. And to be honest with you, it can happen, right? Like it's the grand final. Like there's pressure, right? There's a lot of pressure. This is a new environment, right, for these teams, right? They haven't really competed before, you know. This none of them have played in the ERP.
Do you think we're going to see the normal split phases on Largos? Do you think anyone's going to attempt the portal strat?
Well, no, because it's bad. So yeah.
Well, but you were saying that, and in the qualifiers, I can't remember which teams it was, but there was a team that did it. I think Sol actually did it, right? And they won. Obviously, the other group, I think, ended up.
Yes, it's because it was CLL. CLL ended up wiping, and that's why Saul was able to power to victory. But as a wise man, Frostball99 said, "Okay, Roy, you simply rely on your opponents being trash." Okay.
And unfortunately, I think Meta is going to be the least trash here. So
yes,
yeah, probably you're right. I do agree. I think probably not. Trying to do the portal phase is going to be the best bet here. But we see the Ooze is now finished up for Salt. Still a couple seconds behind. The Shark encounter going to be started here for Meta at the moment. And yeah, I mean, it looks like the lead Meta had actually has increased a couple seconds. Salt just slightly behind.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
They dealt with that Ooze very well, right? They dealt with that Ooze extremely well.
Salt really need to be able to one-shot this. Just like Meta did, as we just see them moving past the Shark now. Shark going to be spawning in just a second here. Couple little players on Salt's side, but shouldn't be a problem at all.
Yep. Instant one burn, of course, from Meta on that Shark. And Salt will hopefully be doing the same.
Like we said before, again, I think it really, obviously it's a best of 3, right? But it really does come down to this wing because we saw Meta have literally the best wing 2 anyone's ever done. It's a world record.
Yep.
13 minutes and 37 seconds. And there's the one burn. Nice. Oh, and a relog coming out as well.
Yeah, just over to Mirage. Everyone's going to go get on
that was
Mirage
a Ranger.
classes.
Actually, you might be watching.
Yeah, it's because Zephyx is he's going to play Druid here. He's the second Druid for Salt. And, Mike will simply relog to a Mirage. So they're going to get as many Mirages as they can. But let's get a rough idea of the timings here. So Meta will be starting the Largos twins a little bit before Salt. But by how much, right? Yeah,
unfortunately, I don't have the timers up on my streams, of course. But, challenge mode activated for Salt.
Wait, what? BM?
Nah,
okay. No, yeah,
that would have
BM.
been a nice little cheeky meme. But no, unfortunately, we're not going to see any CM here. But, I mean, look, obviously, Meta, extremely strong wing 2, right? What happens if they mess up? What if they get overconfident? What if they wipe?
Yeah.
And so they actually are able to take it? That would be incredible.
Do I need to remind you what happened in the ERP with Snowcrows, who were,
what happened, Teapot?
Well, I'll tell you what. They put down a feedback. Also, Meta starting about 6:08, but the feedback was put down, instantly wiping the group. And if that happens, Slow and Steady will once again
which
win
group
the
did
race. That? Okay, Snowcrows.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me, Teapot. I do appreciate it. But anyways, nonetheless, that's much in the past. Lost in a. Hey, so now Meta gonna be starting this first encounter of the Largos, one of the 2 twins, and Salt just getting onto the first platform here.
Yeah, 30 seconds behind already. For Salt. Again, this is where you see just how prepared Meta are for this tournament, guys. They min-maxed the pre-events, right? They had only a 3-second lead, and it went to a 30-second lead after dealing with those pre-events. It just goes to show it's not all about the bosses, guys. It's about everything in the raid wing, right? It's not just about the DPS. It's about strategy and handling the intermissions between the bosses as well. And Largos is a fight where things can go wrong, though, guys. Like these tornadoes, if a boon rip lands, if a shockwave lands for Meta, they may be put in a bad situation, or if too many people get hit by the charges, there can be downstates coming out of nowhere. Unless they get those revives, it can, very quickly spiral out of control. There is a downstate for Meta, but I think they are going to be able to get that res. They should be able to anyway. It's not on the Canute side, so not much risk there. They are not getting it right now. Wait, that's a death for Meta, actually.
Wait a minute. Meta actually, they're losing a player. Was that a Mirage?
I believe that is one of their DPS players. Yeah, they have started to clown.
Wow.
So,
is it happening? Is their plan coming to fruition? Allowing Meta to kill them?
Well, I think it won't be enough to get 30 seconds. It's not 30 seconds worth, I don't think.
No, definitely not. But every second counts here.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they lose a player on Kadeem as well, who knows?
And
honestly, it's not just about losing the DPS. That's going to throw them a little bit because, right, so far, Meta has probably had the cleanest runs we've seen out of almost any team, and they've lost a player on Largos, which, is a huge DPS check. So it's, it's definitely going to throw them a little bit. Again, obviously, we should still see them finishing Largos well before Salt, but it's going to give Salt a little bit extra time. It's going to give them a couple extra seconds to catch up, and it might mess with Meta a little bit. They definitely don't want to lose another player though, because it just going to mean that when they split, they're going to have even less pressure on those platforms.
Well, what this also means is that one side will actually take a bit longer to kill, right? So it is actually on the Canute side. Oh, I think the player must have fallen into the water actually, because that's why they couldn't res him. That's what actually happened. He must have got knocked off the platform, because that's why we didn't see Diaxon try and res him. But one boss will actually die before the other, so there will be a brief enrage phase for Diaxon's side, so they do have to be careful there. And the enrage of these things is actually kind of dangerous. They can actually one-shot you very quickly. Fortunately, it is going to be Canute enraging, which is nowhere near as scary as Nakari enraging, who of course has that lethal charge attack. Only the shockwave is going to be the problem.
Salt actually, it looks like they're catching up pretty well. I mean,
and losing a Mirage is a huge deal. Yeah, right. Like, losing it is a huge deal.
It's they're really doing pretty. Honestly, if Salt have a really clean pre-event up to Kadeem and they don't mess up at all, if they can just get their DPS, looking really good on Kadeem, there's a chance. There is a chance.
Yo, and a few low players on Meta. Their Druid is very close to dying. Needs to make sure he heals himself up. Does get that heal, though. I think he's okay. Oh, they're still very low, actually. Are we going to see Are we going to see down states from Meta here? Actually, no. There you go. Getting those heals, and they seem to have restabilized. And now, yeah, Canute is now in rage. Another death, though. Another down
he's
state.
He's going to die fully.
Yeah.
2 dead now.
Nah, they should be fine. There's no way they wipe here, I think. But actually, Salt, as a result of this... Okay, so about 10 minutes there on that kill. All the reloads coming in. Actually, Salt is actually in hot pursuit right now. They're going to finish probably at 10 seconds behind Meta, actually, going into Kadeem.
That was a really big... it was big. It was big for Salt. They caught up a lot. They came into Largos very far behind. And again... They can't let this go, though. They have to keep going. They have to get a really clean run here, and they have to do really well on Kadeem.
Salt absolutely cannot wipe. They must not wipe here. Their portals have got to be on point, and realistically... Meta needs to have a few problems, like maybe a player gets hit by a shockwave and dies. One of their they let a few oozes in, and maybe their slime kite who's going to be dealing with making sure Kadeem doesn't start teleporting everywhere. They need to die. Something like that. Some of this stuff needs to happen, right? Some slight issues for Meta. It doesn't have to be a wipe. Just as we saw there on Largos, it does not have to be everyone GGing, right? If the teams simply just, die a little bit and you lose a few DPS players, that can be enough to catch up in this race.
Yeah, and here we go. Salt, again, still about 10 to 15 seconds behind Meta, it looks like. And actually, a lot of Raptors here used by Salt. Maybe they haven't done the Griffin yet. That's
a problem for them.
Folks. It's important. Yeah, you want to get that winged mount going out there, but here we go nonetheless. And again, those portals, like you said before, we saw really nice portals from Meta last time, and you can see they're actually getting portal right now up to that second elemental, so hopefully Salt can do the same. I don't see the portal there yet, but should be coming down.
They do it the other way around. They have the Mesmer glide down again, like this, so that we have them portaling up there. So
yes. No, I know that's what I meant.
Yeah. But Deaxon, they're already on Kadeem there, just quickly G, and they're going to be starting the fight almost instantaneously. And look at that composition coming out of this from Meta. Those 5 Deadeyes that we've seen before with the Holosmith. Yeah, huge damage will be coming out from Meta here. Salt just finishing off the pre-event, and that should do it. They aren't opting for GG here. Again, a little optimization that will go in favor of Meta, right? That's like probably 1 or 2 seconds right there, right? That GG is quicker there.
Yeah. So I'll kind of be careful. It's coming down to it. They are still, I'd say 15 to 20 seconds behind now. I actually think they might have lost a couple seconds there. Again, Meta just being slightly faster. So, I really think it comes down to if Meta loses 1 or 2 players. Yeah. Is Salt going to be able to catch up?
I would dare to say that if Meta loses 1 player and Salt loses... Oh, no! Wait! A DC...
Don't tell me.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Wait, did you see?
Yeah, Roy, you're cutting out a little bit there. I don't know exactly what's going on, but there we go. The teams are going to be off.
Western Europe, so
yeah, it's going to be going off right now, guys. Or well, as soon as the delays kick in, anyway. I think. Yep, there we go, and we have both of our teams there. Some of them, again, Meta very fond of the Griffins, flapping forwards there. They don't care about the platform. They don't want to walk. They just want to go ahead and use those Griffins, and we're going to see. Well, we're going to see pretty much exactly what we saw before. We're going to see the Hydra being burnt down quickly and efficiently, while the lamp is defeated. And then, that's pretty much going to do it. Both teams using 2 players in the lamp, I might add, actually. This is pretty standard because you want to make sure the lamp is nice and quick because both these teams have good DPS, so they are able to do a lot of damage to the Hydra, so a quick lamp will actually benefit them as the ad will die in a timely fashion.
Yeah. And again, Meta, looks like maybe a second ahead here. Well, 24 seconds ahead here, but there you go. And sorry if I'm cutting in and out a little bit. Again, the call is based in Europe, and I am based in America. So
that is a little unfortunate. But internet man, these things happen.
Oh no, never mind. Yeah, there we go. Salt going to be killing the Hydra here. Meta have
Dead's
summoned
dead. Yep.
Their Hydra, indeed.
Ooh.
So yes, put Hydras in chat. Oh, wait, no, you can't.
Oh, wait, you can't put the Hydras. But again, not a big difference here, right? As you can see, of course, Salt actually needs to gain time. We actually need, if Salt wins here, we need to see them actually be quicker than Meta in order to attain victory.
They have to win by 24 seconds.
Yep, yeah, that'll do it. So as we said, like realistically, between these two teams, and as especially considering that Meta will probably have higher DPS, we are going to need something to go a little bit wonky for Meta here. I mean, but this is a boss where this can happen, right? It can absolutely happen.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, obviously, you know, we could see a downstate coming out here from Meta. You know, there's a lot of places that you can die in Kadeem, and of course, the worst place probably would be sending whoever goes down for the lamp dying. I think would be the
that or the kiter, right?
Yeah.
So on Kadeem, for the newer player, this is a fight where you actually have to be spread out in 3 locations. You'll have a group killing the big ad that gets unleashed from the lamp. You'll have a group in the lamp making their way through to summon a creature to help you out, beating the other big boy. And then, of course, you'll have a single player holding Kadeem in place. If you don't have a player on Kadeem, he'll teleport around all over the place, do a shit ton of damage to you, and completely annihilate you. And this player also has an additional responsibility. Kadeem is summoning little lava elemental slimes towards him, and this player has to kill them. Otherwise, a very similar effect will happen. But of course, as you're doing that alone, if you die, you can end up in a very bad spot, and it will usually lead to a wipe if your kiter does actually die.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Meta's still just looking cleaner right now, or at least they're doing a better job DPS-wise, as Salt just bringing their powerful creature up to kill this large elemental. And yeah, Meta have started the second split phase here with the elementals on the sides. Salt, I mean, you know, we started in obviously giving Meta the 23 seconds ahead, and it looks like I'd say Salt have probably lost another probably 5 to 10 seconds, unfortunately.
Not much, though. Not much to give them credit, right? Not much to give them credit.
Not a lot, but yeah, I'd say they're a good half minute behind. And Portal's actually bringing them back to the center. Nice.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like
executing the effective strategy to make sure you get the job done. But you know, I mean, look at the health bars, right? For Meta, it's just we're not seeing any level of wavering here. They're not wavering at all. They are just completely going hard. Yeah, they're unstoppable, right? They haven't had any trouble with this boss so far, and yeah, they have kind of extended their lead out a bit to kind of about 15 seconds. I want to say something like that, going into the Wyvern's phase. But I mean, things can start to go wrong here. That is something worth noting. If you know, if the kiter dies now, it's almost impossible to revive them. If one of their players, say, gets knocked off, by the Wyvern or something like that, it can destabilize the run and cause some serious problems. But, I mean, we didn't see that last time, so, I mean, I don't think we'll be seeing that again. And as you see, yeah, Meta handling this very, very well, to be honest with you. It's looking very, very clean. Oh, again, Diaxon, he did this last time, actually. He got knocked back by the Wyvern. I mean, obviously, it's not the biggest deal, but...
No,
I mean, it's
interesting. He's allowing himself to be buffeted. Maybe maybe he's into that. Who knows? But here we go. CC phase now started on the Wyvern for Meta. Salt still a little bit behind. You know, they're not terribly far, but again, you know, they were coming into this run already about 23 seconds behind Meta, and it does not look like they've really gained any ground. In fact, the opposite, which really is not what they had to do here. They had to completely pass Meta, and unfortunately, they're not doing it. So it's at the moment looking like it's going to be coming down to if Salt can defeat Meta at what may very well be their best wing, the wing that they set a world record on yesterday, Wing 2. And I don't feel great for Salt coming into this, to be honest.
No, it's certainly not looking good. I mean, there's some things still can go wrong on this Wing 6. And, of course, Wing 2, yeah, as we say, Sloth and Matthias can go very badly. Sloth, you know, is actually the boss, I believe, that has actually killed the most players in the game, you know? And we may see that happen. And, of course, Matthias is one of the harder bosses, but also a volatile boss, especially if you do it very aggressively. You'll be running one healer, not a lot of support, full YOLO, and, hey, things can go wrong even in the best of guilds. And, you know...
Is that Mata going down on... from Salt?
Oh, wow. That's a G kick right there, boys.
What a dirty feeder. But yeah, here we go. The jumping phase now has started for both groups. A little portal there from Salt. Obviously going to be using that later on. Meta, again, seconds ahead. I mean, honestly, I think Meta have to wipe here. There's really, I don't think there's enough room in this boss.
I don't know what can kill them, though. That's the thing. I'm not sure what would kill them here. This last phase...
DJing might.
Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, it's pretty much free at this point. The boss, once you get to this damage phase, he's pretty much dead. There's not much that really can be done. Kadeem will not be able to kill him. Good portals, though, by Soul, actually, to be fair. They're not going to end up that far behind, honestly, with you. They really aren't. But yeah, it looks like Meta are setting up their other portal just to get over to the other platform, but they're very close to finishing the burn here as well. Unless they like portal off the platform and all die, there's no dying here. There really isn't.
So there we go. Kadeem going to be finished.
There we go.
Honestly, that could be a 40-second lead, I think, on Salt.
Yeah, approximately I would say approximately 40 seconds there. Coming out from Meta. We will just subtract that time, so it's going to be a 25:52, I believe, actually. It's a bit skewed quick at this point, right? But yeah, a bit of quick maths. So, unless Salt literally hacks time, they are not going to win. But 26:39, so they are about 50 seconds ahead behind, actually. Just under 50 seconds. I think.
Yeah. Hey, look, good run from both. Again, obviously technical difficulties, aside, not really great, but nonetheless, that's going to be round 1 of this best of 3 going towards Meta. And now we